If you've ever thought about taking a solo trip, this is your sign. I've successfully navigated an annual solo trip for the last 5 years, and I would not trade those experiences for the world. In this video, I'll share some reasons why you should make that solo trip happen for yourself, and I will also link some quick practical tips on how you go about planning a solo trip that will be a successful one. Reason number one, above all else, the fact that the thought of solo travel has entered your mind means that there's something inside of you that really wants to do it. Do not ignore that little voice in your head. I 100% felt a lot of anxiety right before I was planning my first solo trip to Los Angeles, so much so that I almost canceled the flight the night before, but I am so glad that I went through with it. The worst that can happen is that you take the trip, you decide that solo travel is not your cup of tea, and you don't do it again. But don't keep wondering what if, make it happen for yourself. Also, you get to experience the ultimate freedom and flexibility when it comes to planning out your itinerary and structuring your day. If you're an early riser or a late sleeper, you get to decide when you start your day and how your day is going to play out without being at the whim of your family or your friend group either. You'll be able to tap into the joy of having complete control of your time, free from the everyday demands of your life. You get to call the shots and you get to decide what you do every single minute of the trip. Solo travel is an opportunity to explore your unique hobbies and interests. One example for me is being able to go to museums and spend as much time as I want in them without feeling rushed. I know that spending hours in a museum looking at an exhibit of animal photos is not everyone's cup of tea, but that is a perfect example of one of the funnest solo trip activities that I've ever done. And it was really great to not feel that pressure of the rest of the group that maybe moves faster, is done with the exhibit sooner, and is really ready to move on to the next thing. Listen, I know how stressful it can be to plan out a solo trip, especially if it is your first. As promised, here's a video with some quick tips and tricks to help you plan out a successful solo trip if you don't know where to start.